thing. What other sport, like Willowbank was, the Winter Nationals was cancelled on Sunday because of rain.
Yeah.
Like, you can race all the time. This is what's stopping you.
There was one event just recently cancelled up at Marcoola. That was because it was when the cyclonic winds were up and there was a huge swell.
Cyclone Debbie,
Yeah, Debbie it was. I wasn't
crazy.
here.
Yeah.
I was overseas and having some bin tangs, but these guys are racing and, they decided to call it off, so it must have been pretty dangerous for them to do that.
Right. And dangerous for the clubbies that had to be out there on the...
Yeah, I'm
dangerous for everyone.
I'm
Would have
sure
been great
they-
to see, though, wouldn't it?
Every time the swell gets big, we always put the boats in, take them out, and it's just awesome fun. But when you're racing, it's a different kettle of fish, and you gotta bring the safety aspect into it a little bit.
Right, yeah, especially for the dude sitting on the front.
Yeah.
You guys both, what do you call it? Drive, steer?
Yeah,
Driver,
driver and
co-pilot.
crewy, or co-pilot.
Crewy.
Yeah.
He's got to be insane, the crewy.
Well, he's a crewy,
Yeah.
and that's one thing I would never, ever
Nathan,
do.
you're a crewy?
Yeah, mate, yeah.
Never.
Yeah. My brother drives.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh,
Well, at least,
sometimes.
yeah. Well, at least he he cares about you, maybe.
Sometimes. It broke me ribs last July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My cousin that's down here in this shop, he was a sidecar swinger.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm talking, I think that was second in the Aussie. They finished second at Bathurst. Like, they did everything, the dirt, and then but could you think of anything crazier than swinging on a sidecar?
My brother actually did that.
Yeah?
Speedway, though, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, you probably know him, but you're working as a team, so you can get right into that. But there's no denying it. The guy it only takes a mistake from the guy with twisting the throttle.
Well, the co-pilot up the front, he's just as important as the driver.
For steering,
the amount of movement he does, like he could be, if he's sitting back halfway through the boat and you go through a wave, you're more than likely either to land on your engine or upside down. Right. But if he's sort of at the back of the boat as he hit the wave, pushes all his weight to the front, your boat will normally land, somewhat level.
Okay.
And that's the sort of position you want to be in as you're jumping through a wave. So they're very, very important.
Oh, that's cool. So even turning?
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
So
Constantly
you got
moving,
it.
constantly.
So he's listening to your revs and knows kind of how you do it. And it's something you build up.
You get to know, like your skill. You just know what the boat's going to do, and you learn to know where to put your weight because it makes a huge difference. Couple of 100 RPM is a big difference in speed.
All right. Well, Nathan, what's the name of your brother?
Jay Durston.
Durston. Jay, what's the name of your crewy?
He's my brother too, Nick McGowan.
Nick McGowan.
Yeah, brotherly
Oh,
love.
let's all hold hands.
No, thanks, not him.
All right. So is there a championship happening at the moment?
We have the club championship, but the boys got together and, like I said, there's a small bunch of guys that race, and we all agreed that we're just in it for the fun of things. Hey, we just all love racing.
So you're finishing last then? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm always up the front, mate. He's last. And we just race for the fun of it. Eh? We just love getting out there on the weekends.
But someone like me wants to know how you're going. Like,
We do have we invented this little thing that we all throw in a bit of cash at the start of the club day, and we'll have like a fastest lap similar to a time trial in Speedway.
Right.
By
a timer or by hand?
Yeah, by a timer, like just a stopwatch. We haven't got like monitors on our boats, obviously being in water, so we just eyed up with one of the turn cans to start finish line and time each boat, for each lap. And
who's holding that? I need to know. Like, I would be like, oh, it's Thingo's sister. What a coincidence!
Well, coincidentally, Jay's parents timed the last day, and
how convenient, Jay.
No.
You timed it quickest. Did you?
It's second you were that day, yeah, but it's
Who
pretty
won the
fair.
first one, Nate?
Oh, was it you? Yeah, we weren't in it. It had to be you. Yeah. Second best.
Yeah. So that's. But you still got some series points, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we still run points.
Well, how are you going? What's going on? Come on.
Well, we've raced one this year. Nath got out. He hurt his ribs first time. And I got second in the first race, but the second one got called off in Marcoola due to bad weather. And so from there, we really haven't got too many points proceeding from race to race at the moment. So we're getting into the first long haul this weekend. which we're going to try really to promote to get a lot of boats. One, because you don't have to run a prop guard. That's probably the most expensive bit. Apart from a prop guard is, it's up around the $500 mark. So we're trying to get a lot of the, what do we call them, like Facebook heroes.
There's always those Facebook warriors.
Yeah. Try to get them to come down. They're always talking it up on Facebook, on the Gold Coast Thundercat page. So
right, they're actual competitors or just viewers?
No. There's probably 50 people on the coast, the canal rats and whatever else that have got boats. None of them want to run in the surf. They must be scared or something. I don't know what it is.
Is there a club of dudes called the Canal Rats, or no? Just
I don't know. Tinny Rats.
Okay.
I think there's
Tinny
a
Rats,
Facebook page or something.
Yeah, right.
Just younger fellas.
Right.
I mean, you got to be 16 to race in our boats. So have your license. I don't know if half those
this is good.
fellas have.
I feel like you guys right now are putting it.
Well, that's it.
Come on, why not?
Well, this first race, they don't have to have prop guards. They just got to be 16 with a license. They come out and give it a crack. And
okay,
you pay a club membership for a day. That's $50 each person, and then your $70 race entry. So $170 you can race for the day.
So you have to have that particular boat though, and that motor.
Well, you open to a motor. I mean, you do have to obviously have the inflatable Thundercat, but the motors are open. We're just opening it up. So let someone might have a 70 on the back of one, which they can hold.
But no points, right?
Yeah, no points. Just come along and have fun with the boys.
So I'll turn up with 100.
Yeah,
and all the punters won't know that. He must be good.
Yeah, well,
as long as it's got a 50 sticker on it. Doesn't matter.
Sure. That's the main thing.
I'm only joking, but that's great. Then, okay, you're right though. I'm the jealous guy that doesn't live on the canals or anything that sees just kids and people just cruising around on tinnies all the time.
Yeah.
Go, man, I wish I could do what they're doing.
Yeah, what happens is that those younger fellas that have got the tinnies, they eventually get a little bit older, then they want a mini Thundercat because our boats come in a slightly smaller version as well. And they put 25s on them, so they get onto those, and then they start terrorising the canals and creeks, and it labels Thundercat. And
it's at 10% we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, can they join your series? But is there? I mean, they have obviously. They're not yet, but it sounds like a good subcategory to have.
It could be, but a lot of those guys are underage. So our insurance and that for our club, you have to be 16 and have a marine driver's license.
Yep.
And a lot of those young fellas don't. So
okay.
A new guy just joined a couple of meetings ago, and he's 16. He just got his boat license on the day of the race, and he's like, "Yep, I'm racing."
Nice.
Come out and killed it. He's in top 3 every
That's
every
good.
race.
So his mum and dad, or his parents are there.
Yeah, they're on the beach. His girlfriend, his friends and mates.
That's
and
great.
Did a bit of filming and stuff.
He's like one of those kids. He's probably racing motocross and all that sort of stuff. And he's just been a natural from the start.
Right.
He just got in and killed it. He absolutely killed it, and he was really good. And it's good for us, a bit of competition.
It helps that he's a featherweight too. That's a big thing in boat racing.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Which is kind of brings me to how. Let's just say in a year from now you've got 30 boats.
Yeah.
Obviously you've got to start thinking about how you're gonna weigh these things on the beach, because there's, I'll bet Jay, you might be 5 kilos heavier than Nathan.
Oh,
at
good
least,
10.
at least.
Right? So, that's and look at me, I'm a lightweight in sprint cars. So everyone would be like, yeah, you're just, I've got, because in sprint cars you just go as light as you can. There's a minimum weight.
Yeah.
But some drivers weigh 80, 90, 100 kilos. And I was always getting around at 76, and they'd be, you little bastard. It's all centrifugal, and you're coming out for you guys, you're jumping out of waves.
Yeah.
So it's launch speed. It's just physics.
Yeah.
But it'd be good to know. You just put them up on the sand, and they just have those. In race cars, you got those pad sensors.
Yeah. The scales.
They're not even that. Yeah, the scales. They're not even that expensive.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's
That'd be
good.
a way.
Could be something we could look into, but it's more the sealed engine thing. I mean, if everyone has a sealed engine, we know their engine's the same. So it just comes down to your crew weight and your props. That's what's going to win races at the end of the day. Doesn't matter if you could be an 80 kilo driver and crewy, you could be 180. Got the right props, you're still competitive.
Okay, that's cool.
Some of the blokes who are competitive, they're pretty. They're not small blokes. So
yeah, they're still up there.
I guess because it's another thing. Like, you got to have a bit of mumbo too, because it's the way you hit the waves, and some guys might go, yeah, while the other guy just goes, "Bah."
Yeah.
You have a day in big surf, and like big boys like me, we don't go too bad. But you put us in a small surf that's just a drag race. It's pretty hard for us to.
I get you.
to
Right, so
race.
you're potentially, it's probably not this critical, but you're potentially staying in the water. The prop stays in the water more.
Definitely, yeah.
Right, that's
what
interesting.
you're after. I mean, the more the props out of the water, as you know, you're not driving anywhere. You're just spinning, so to speak. So
you're saying, Nathan, that maybe being a little lighter in these things could be kind of a disadvantage. I was thinking the opposite way,
it can work both ways, to be honest.
Right,
It
finding the
depends.
right balance.
Yeah,
That's the love of the sport, but you never
Wow.
know what the surf's going to be
Excellent.
like, what the wind's doing, and that can change the whole game by day to day.
It's not a track. Like the track's never the same. Each lap it changes, obviously, because the surf changes. So
It changes through the day.
the wind comes up, so you end up getting like a glassy morning. You might have 2 races in the day. We run eight races a day in a club event, and come the 5th or 6th race, there might be a 20, 30 knot northeaster blowing up, so you're going to have to change your prop and be on your game,
How do you do that in the beach? You just have a bag of stuff and
Yeah,
some
well,
tools. And
everyone's got like assortment of props. We've got 7, I think. We just pull the boat up the beach, turn it around. Prop guard just rests on the sand, and it's only 1 knot and a split pin to change a prop, so they just slide off the spline, and away you go. You just got to know what your prop's going to do.
I can't wait to see this. When's the next race this weekend?
Sunday.
This Sunday, yeah, it's probably not the best one to come and watch, but being a long haul, it's not as good for spectators.
But it's high speed.
It is high speed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I mean,
there's something to see.
yeah.
We still do come into a foot of water,
Okay.
into waist deep water at the front.
How's the surf at the moment? I haven't seen it for about
Pretty
3
big.
days.
Pretty
Yeah.
big, I think.
Is it? Yeah?
Yeah, a bit of wind too. That
Yeah.
doesn't help when you're in an inflatable.
Right, and the nose is light. And
yeah, your crew. Really
have you ever
has to
seen
work.
anyone flip it over in a race?
Oh, yeah. all
Is that
the
right?
time. There's-
How many
Like-
times have we done it?
Yeah, I've been over twice in races. You've been over, I don't know how many times.
At least a
But I
dozen.
mean as in high speed, like in ocean
yeah.
boats. It's just going, whizzing.
Yeah,
For real?
It happens. It happens. Yeah.
State titles, I think 2016, I threw my crew at least 30 metres from the boat. Just to come
Excellent.
around to turn
That's your
him
brother?
10. No, it wasn't that time. My brother was away. It was a mate
Oh, I
of mine.
killed that other guy, yeah. Threw him 30 metres.
Don't worry about him. He's not racing anymore.
But yeah, just a high-speed flip around a turn can, and he was gone. I got up, popped my head out of the water and couldn't find him, and he was swimming back towards the boat behind me.
Wow. I've got to ask, what happens with the next... it's obviously dangerous.
Yeah.
I just looked... It's funny you guys came in today because I saw one of those videos yesterday of someone just sitting there on a jet ski and all of a sudden... because it's just not... you've got props and you flip over and it's just a head in the water. It's just hard to see flat out.
Yeah.
Next minute, has anyone been banged around?
There's been a couple of accidents like that, but like it's pretty safe because as soon as you flip or you come out of the boat, you're normally ejected out of it. You don't just sort of slip out.
Right.
You're catapulted away from the boat. So,
Okay.
and all the other guys are onto it as well. Like
Are
they see the accident, they're pretty much aware of it and avoid it and attend to the boat that's in the accident. So
Okay, so there's no, like in Speedway, yellow flags.
yeah, well, if a boat flips or someone comes out of the boat, generally it's a red flag straight away, just
Okay.
for safety. Yeah.
And who holds the flags? Are they on the beach or up out in the...
Events where we have enough people to help out, we'll have a boat out in the water. So especially in surf cross events where they're more prone to flipping,
Yeah.
we'll have a safety boat out in the water with a green and red flag with a handheld UHF to talk to the guys on the beach. So you'll have two sets of flags on the beach, a northern and southern point, and a safety boat in the water.
Neat. How'd you start doing this?
Well, Jay, I think Jay might have started when we started.
Well,
You've seen us, and
My dad bought me a like a surf club version of a Thundercat. Had the same sort of hull, but it had the round nose. And that was more fishing, diving, mucking around. I was only 15 when he bought it for me, and then I had that for a couple of years, and then sort of, got into going out and drinking, all that sort of crap. And then it wasn't until I was about 23, 24, I wanted to get back into it and got to know Nath through full driving, and he had a boat and they were racing, went and watched one race meet, and that was it. I put a deposit on a boat the next week and had one, and just started working on props, and eventually got into racing, and I've been going hard for probably 3 years now. So